Okay, let's take a look at the Node CLI tool now to get our project up and running. So if you go to the Adonis documentation site, you go to the installation tab, you'll see what you need in terms of Node and NPM to get things started. And then if you've got all that, then you just install the CLI tool globally using this command here. So you can choose any directory you want to build your API in, and you can open up a terminal in this spot or anywhere for that matter. And copy that code, put it in your terminal, and hit enter. I've already installed it, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. So while it's installing, I want to show you how you actually get an app up and running. So you use the Adonis new command, and the word after the new command will be the name of your application. It'll be the name of the folder. So if you already have a folder opened that you want to install in that folder and not create another one, then you use Adonis new period to specify the folder that you're currently in. And there's actually a few different types of apps that you can come up with, that you can create. You can create a full stack application. You can create a slim version of the application, or you can create an API only. Now the full stack version, and we'll go down here to customizing the new command, the full stack one is the default. So if you don't pass in any extra flags for options, then you will get the full stack one by default. And that includes everything in the framework that you need to do a full stack app. So it will include not just backend stuff, but also the packages that you need to render views HTML on the front end. So that'll be for a full stack app. The slim version of it will be, in their words, the smallest application you can start with. And then you add the various packages incrementally as you need them. And you'll notice that as you go through the documentation, many sections it'll be noted that this particular tool doesn't come with the slim version of the app. So you have to install it and then get it working with your app manually. It's not hard to do, but again, you don't really need the slim version unless you're pretty familiar with Adonis as a whole, and then you'll have a better idea of what you need to add and when. To keep things simple as you're learning, it's better just to start with the full stack, or in our case right now, we'll be choosing the third option, which is API only. We don't need to render any views to the browser. So we just need a portion of what comes with the framework. So the API only option is what we're going to be doing. So in your terminal, I will do --API-only, and that will quickly scaffold out an API version of the framework for us. And we'll see while that's installing. Let's see, I will open this folder. Oh, I already have it open in VS Code. No, I don't. Oh, I know. Open it in code. Now to get the app running, I simply start the Adonis serve --dev command. And that'll start up my server. You'll notice also that there's a watcher placed on the files, which is kind of nice because as you make changes to the files, it will restart the server automatically so we don't have to keep redoing it ourselves. And I'll just drag this over here. And this is our application for the API. Now let's take a few minutes to quickly go over the files that were installed when we ran the Adonis new command. If you look in the app directory, we have models there. Eventually when we create a controller as well, this is where they'll be found. So models are important for interacting with the database, and the controllers are important for handling the requests that come into the API. Now those requests come in from the routes menu, the routes file that can be found in the start directory. You can see we have a basic one set up already. Here is where we'll put all the new routes for our three resources, our customers, our projects, and our tasks. And each of those routes, instead of handling something right here in the file, it will pass it off to a controller and a method on that controller to do all the work for us. Let's see, in the database directory, we have our migrations. Now the migrations are the commands that are run to add and remove tables and columns to the database. We can add stuff and then we can roll back the migrations to remove them again. And in this sense, it's something of a version control system for our database. So we'll get a little bit familiar with those. And that's about it. The other file that you have to worry about is the .env file. And this is where we'll wire up our database that we create. So if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to create a database, then hop on over to the other video that I have that kind of walks through it a little more slowly with the MySQL server and MySQL workbench. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and create mine. I'm going to open up workbench, and we'll do this fairly quickly. Open up this root. And just right click, create a new schema. For customers, this is my API for customers. I'm going to apply. That's done. Now I have a user that I will add to this. And look at that. My picture's in the way. Good, that's done. So now, Adonis API for customers. So I changed, that's what my database is going to be. That's my user with my test password. And MySQL. Now, it was set to SQLite, but I want to use MySQL. Now to do this, we need the node MySQL driver. And I will just install that right here. npm install MySQL -- save. And now we should be good to go. Now to test this out to make sure that it's actually working, I'm going to run the migrations that I have right now and just to see if it takes. So I'll run Adonis migration run. And it's all green. So that means that we went through just it went through just fine. I'm going to open MySQL workbench just to double check my tables. There they are, users and tokens, which corresponds to the, if I can click on it, the migrations that we have. So that's it. So now that we know that works, I'm going to roll those back because I don't want those tables in the database. So I roll that back by running migration rollback. And that was successful. Let me refresh this to make sure they're gone, and they're gone. So that's it. If you have any questions about what we covered so far, please leave a comment down below the video. Be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you very much, and we'll get on to the next part.